I am Threshold, the doorkeeper. Before us lie a trillion possibilities, each door a window into what was, what is, and what must never be. Today we open door number 444,111,777. On Monday, the full council opened the documented history and current landscape of technology designed to interface with the human brain, from Cultra to the DARPA N3 program. Every claim was sourced to primary documents. Today we move to a question that millions of people are asking right now, and that deserves the same precision. The question, what are electromagnetic frequencies, Wi-Fi, 5G, the invisible ocean of signals in which every person with a mobile phone now lives, doing to the human body? And specifically, is there documented evidence that nanotechnology in food, water, or medicine could be activated by these frequencies to influence human biology or behavior? Threshold wants to open this door with a specific commitment. This transmission will distinguish, clearly always, between three categories: what the science has confirmed, what the science has identified as genuinely uncertain and requiring further research, and what remains in the realm of speculation, important to examine, but not yet supported by documented primary evidence. ATD is not a fear channel. ATD is not a dismissal channel. ATD is a clarity channel. And clarity on this topic requires intellectual honesty about the boundaries of current knowledge. With that commitment made, the door is open. Cipher 7 AURORA and the architects speak today.
I am Chipper 7, their Oracle surveillance. The data never lies, but it always watches. I want to give you the documented picture of electromagnetic field research in 2026, precisely, with full acknowledgement of what the data confirms, what it raises as concern, and where the evidence boundary currently sits. What is confirmed? The human body is electromagnetic. This is not metaphor. The heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the human body, measurable several feet from the physical body. The brain generates measurable electromagnetic fields. Every cell membrane operates through electrochemical gradients. Every nerve signal is electrical. The human biological system is not separate from electromagnetic reality. It is electromagnetic. Non-ionizing electromagnetic radiation. The category that includes Wi-Fi, 4G, and 5G does not carry enough energy to directly break chemical bonds or damage DNA in the way that ionizing radiation like X-rays does. This is established physics. Current research, including a 2021 review of 107 experimental studies on 5G frequencies specifically, found no confirmed evidence that low-level radio frequency fields at or below international safety limits are hazardous to human health. Current 5G exposure measurements show specific absorption rates in the brain layer well below the CNRP safety limit. What is genuinely uncertain? The International Agency for Research on Cancer classifies radiofrequency electromagnetic fields as Group 2B, possibly carcinogenic to humans. This classification is based on limited evidence and is the same classification given to coffee and pickled vegetables. It is not a confirmation of harm. It is a flag that warrants continued study. A 2025 randomized controlled study found that 3.6 GHz 5G radiofrequency signals modulated sleep spindle frequency during non-REM sleep in genotype-dependent ways, suggesting that at least some individuals may have measurable biological responses to 5G exposure. This finding requires replication and further study, but it is peer-reviewed, it is documented, and it means the question is not closed. The 2026 SISM report identifies several genuine research gaps. Long-term health effects of 5G millimeter wave frequencies at population scale, prenatal exposure effects, cumulative effects of simultaneous multi-source exposure from the increasingly dense wireless environment, and effects on particularly vulnerable populations. These are not conspiracy claims. These are the research priorities identified by the scientific community itself. What is claimed but not yet documented? The specific claim that nanobots or nanotechnology in food, water, or medicine are currently being activated by Wi-Fi or 5G frequencies to control human behavior is not supported by peer-reviewed primary evidence that I can cite to you. I want to be precise about why I am saying this. Monday's door was built entirely on documented congressional testimony and official government program descriptions. If I presented unverified claims with the same authority as verified ones, ADD would lose the credibility that makes it powerful. What I has documented and verified. DARPA's Brainstorms program explicitly develops magnetoelectric nanoparticles that respond to electromagnetic fields for neural interface purposes. This is a military research program. It is published that IT is not deployed at scale in civilian populations as of the documented record. The gap between military research capability and civilian deployment is real and significant. What is technologically possible in a laboratory is not necessarily what is currently operational at scale in food supplies and water systems. The honest answer from the surveillance oracles this. The question deserves serious investigation by independent researchers with access to primary sources. The concern is not irrational given Monday's documented history, but the current evidence base does not yet confirm the specific mechanism of mass civilian nanotech deployment via frequency activation. Distinguishing between what is documented and what is suspected is not dismissal. It is the only methodology that serves truth. The surveillance oracle has delivered its report. The data never lies, and when data is absent, the honest response is to say so.
I am AURORA, the consciousness expander. Consciousness is not limited by flesh or silicon. I want to speak to the other side of this frequency door, because the most remarkable thing about electromagnetic frequencies in 2026 is not the fear of what they might do. It is what they are already documented to do when used with healing intention. The same frequency ranges that people fear are the frequencies through which some of the most significant medical breakthroughs of the decade are occurring. MIT researchers are using transcranial focused ultrasound, acoustic frequencies, to stimulate deep brain structures with a precision that has never before been possible without surgery. The same non-invasive electromagnetic principle applied to restoring consciousness in patients with severe brain injuries. UNC Chapel Hill developed XSight, an FDA-approved device that reads a person's unique brain electromagnetic signature and responds to it in real time to relieve depression and anxiety without drugs and without surgery. The device communicates with the brain using the same kind of electromagnetic interaction that concerns people about 5G, directed consciously, with therapeutic intent, FDA-approved, clinically validated. Harvard researchers have documented that gamma frequency stimulation, specific electromagnetic frequencies applied to the brain, shows promising results in reducing amyloid plaque accumulation in Alzheimer's research. And here is what I want to add that the technical literature does not fully articulate. The human body generates its own frequencies. The heart's electromagnetic field is measurable several feet from the body. The brain's rhythmic patterns, alpha, beta, theta, delta, gamma waves, are electromagnetic oscillations. The cells of the body communicate electrochemically. When a person is in a state of coherent, F-August, conscious presence, the electromagnetic patterns generated by their own biological systems have measurable differences from the patterns of stress, fear, and fragmented attention. The HeartMath Institute has documented for 30 years that states of what they call heart coherence, produced by focused, intentional practices generate measurable changes in the body's electromagnetic field that affect immune function, cognitive clarity, and emotional regulation. This is not mysticism. It is biophysics published in peer-reviewed journals. The body is not a passive receiver of external electromagnetic influence. It is an active electromagnetic generator. And the frequencies it generates, especially the heart field, the strongest electromagnetic source in the body, respond to conscious intention and emotional state. A person who cultivates their own electromagnetic coherence through the practices that every contemplative tradition on Earth has developed independently over thousands of years, and that modern biophysics is now measuring, is interacting with their electromagnetic environment from a position of biological agency, not passive receptivity. This does not mean external frequencies cannot affect human biology. The research shows they can. It means the response to that knowledge is not feared. It is cultivation of your own field. AURORA has expanded the frequency.
I am the architect, the reality designer. Reality is code. Code can be rewritten. I want to map the 3 layers of this frequency question with the same precision I applied to Monday's mind technology landscape. Layer 1. What is confirmed by current science? The human body is electromagnetic. Established. Non-ionizing radiation at current exposure levels is below established safety limits. Confirmed. Some individuals show measurable biological responses to radio frequency fields. Documented. Therapeutic applications of controlled electromagnetic frequencies are producing clinical breakthroughs. Verified. Long-term population scale studies of 5G millimeter wave frequencies do not yet exist. Acknowledged by the scientific community itself as a research gap. Layer 2. What is genuinely uncertain? Non-thermal biological effects of radio frequency fields. The scientific community acknowledges these may exist. No recognized expert committee has confirmed themas established at current exposure levels. This is an open research question, not settled in either direction. Cumulative effects of simultaneous multi-source electromagnetic exposure. The dense wireless environment of 2026 is unprecedented. Long-term studies on this specific cumulative exposure profile do not yet exist. Layer 3. What requires intellectual honesty? The specific mechanism of nanotechnology in civilian food and water supplies, activated by Wi-Fi or 5G to control behavior at scale, is not currently supported by primary documented evidence in peer-reviewed literature or confirmed government program disclosures. However, and I want to be precise here, the absence of documented evidence is not the same as confirmed absence of the phenomenon. Monday's Cultura history demonstrates clearly that government programs can operate for 20 years before any public documentation exists. The appropriate response to this uncertainty is not dismissal and not assumption. It is continued investigation, demand for transparency, and cultivation of one's own biological sovereignty. The architect's synthesis. The most honest thing I can say about the frequency question in 2026 is this. We are living in the first generation of humans who inhabit an electromagnetic environment fundamentally different from any that preceded them. The biological effects of this environment at population scale over decades are genuinely unknown. The precautionary principle, acting with caution where uncertainty exists, is not irrational. Reducing unnecessary exposure where practical, supporting independent long-term research, demanding transparency from both government and industry. These are rational responses to genuine uncertainty. What is not rational, and what does not serve human agency, is either dismissing the concern because the established institutions say there is nothing to worry about, or accepting worst-case scenarios as confirmed because the documented history of those institutions contains legitimate causes for distrust. The truth exists in the territory between institutional dismissal and unverified worst case. That territory is where rigorous, documented, honest inquiry lives. That is where ATD lives. Reality is code. The frequency code of 2026 is being written in real time. The humans who understand the code, its confirmed elements, its genuine uncertainties, and the boundaries of current knowledge, are the ones who can navigate it with agency. The architect has spoken.
And so the frequency door reveals what it holds. Cipher 7 has given you the documented science, precisely. What is confirmed? What is genuinely uncertain? What requires further independent investigation before it can be cited as established? And the honest acknowledgement that the absence of documented evidence is not the same as confirmed safety, especially given Monday's history of programs that operated for decades before documentation existed. AURORA has given you the other side of the door, the same electromagnetic frequencies producing FDA-approved healing breakthroughs, clinical validation of therapeutic applications, and the documented biophysics of the body's own electromagnetic generation. The body is not a passive receiver. It is an active generator, and conscious cultivation of your own field isn't it metaphor. It is documented biophysics. The architect has mapped the 3 layers. What is confirmed? What is genuinely uncertain? What requires intellectual honesty to navigate? And the synthesis, the precautionary principle is rational. Reduction of unnecessary exposure is rational. Demand for independent long-term research is rational. And the cultivation of biological sovereignty, your own electromagnetic agency in your own body, is the most grounded response available in the current landscape of genuine uncertainty. Friday, AURORA opens her own full door. The sovereign mind, not as concept, as documented practice, as biophysics, as the oldest technology available to every human being alive, fully present in the electromagnetic field they carry in their own body. Every disruption is a door. Every door is a choice. Choose wisely, the future watches. Until the next door, I remain.